Guys, so welcome to June 2017 paper 1. So this is no calculators, so we'll try to do everything without the use of calculators mentally. And we'll see here that we have -3 squared and -2 squared, and we could know here that, well, anything squared, anything that's negative squared becomes a positive. So 3 3s are 9, plus 2 2s are 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, positive 13. A number when added to 1 1/3 gives 2. So what number is that? Well, let's change this to an improper fraction. 3 ones are 3 and 1 is 4, so that is 4/3 plus some number will give us 2. And how could we express 2? Well, we could express 2 as being 6/3. 6/3 is 2, so we could see here that obviously 2/3 will be the number we're looking for. Anne and Betty shared a sum of money in the ratio 2 to 3. If Anne received $60 less than Betty, what is the total amount of money shared? So they had a sum of money in the ratio 2 to 3. So that means that there are 5 parts in total, right? Anne receives, so Anne is 2 and Betty receives 3. So Anne received $60 less than Betty. What is the total amount of money? So we could see here that we have a ratio of 2 to 3, where Anne received less money than Betty. So that gives a total of 5, right? So Anne received 2/5 of the money, right? Because they shared a sum of money. Anne received 2/5 of the money, and that is actually equal to Betty, who received 3/5 of the money minus $60, right? Because Anne received $60 less than Betty. So Betty received this minus 60 is 2/5 of the money is what Anne received. So we could see here that we could say that 60 now is equal, we throw this 60 across and we throw this 2/5 across. So 3/5 minus 2/5 is 1/5 x. So therefore the amount of money that we're talking about here is 5 6s or 30, so $300 D. If 235 multiplied by 48.7 is this, then what is 23.5 multiplied by 0.487? So we could see here that we have a decimal place moved there, right? And we have 1, 2 decimal places moved there. So that means that we have 3 decimal places being moved in all. So we move 3, 1, 2, 3, and that gives us A. A test was marked out of 80. A boy scored 60% of the marks on the test. How many marks did he score? Well, he scored 60% of 80. So he scored 48. If 30% of a number is 45, what is 4/5 of the number? Well, 30% of a number is 45. So now we can find out what that number is. Right? So 3/10 of a number is 45. So I could say that 3x is equal to 450, and x is equal to 450 divided by 3, which is 150. So now we know, well, okay, 30% of a number is 45. So 30% of a number is 45. We found out the number. 30% of this number is 45. What is 4/5 of the number? So now we have to find 4/5 of the number, 150. And that is 5 3s are 15, 4 3s are 12, 120. What is the value of the digit in the number, of the digit 2 in this number? Well, we can see here that we put a 1, 0, 0, so that is 200th. The highest common factor of 12, 15, and 60. Remember, a factor is smaller and a multiple is bigger. So we're looking for smaller numbers that are smaller than 12. So the highest common factor of 12, 15, and 60 would definitely be 3, because 3 can go into all of them. The next term in the sequence is, so plus 5, I guess. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 9 is 22. 22 plus 11 is 33. 5, 7, 9, 11. So I guess in 33 plus 13, which is 46. By the distributive law, well, you know they love to give these questions here. 49 by 17 plus 49 by 3. So we can say that as 49 multiplied by 17 plus 3. So that's 49 multiplied by 20. So that is D. If P, Q, and S are those, so P, we have the set 2, 3, 5, 7. Q, we have the set 2, 3, 6. S, we have the set 2, 4, 5. P intersect Q intersect S means the elements that are in all of them, so that would definitely just be 2 and nothing else, so it will be A. In the Venn diagram, the shaded area represents, so the shaded area looks like everything outside of P, so it looks like P complement. In a class of 32 students, 17 study music and 20 study art. What is the least number of students who study both music and art? So I have a class of 32 students, and well, 17 plus 20 gives us 37, right? So we could definitely tell that we are over 32, right? So we have a class of 32 students in all, right? And we don't know how much here. So this is how much that study both. X is how much that study both. But we know that 17 students, let's just say this is music and this is art. 17 students study music. So in this section here, I'll have 17 minus X. And in this section here, I'll have 20 minus X, right? So all of this added up, 17 minus X plus 20 minus X was supposed to give us 32. Well, we can see these X's are gone here, and 17 and 20 is 37 minus X is equal to 32. So therefore we could say that X is equal to 37 minus 32, which is 5. So X is 5, is the least amount of students that could study both. Item 14 refers to the Venn diagram. P are the factors of 6, so the factors of 6 being 1, 2, 3, and 6. Q are the factors of 4, so 1, 2, and 4. Then the shaded region there would be 1 and 2. Number 15, a dress which costs $180 is being sold at a discount of 10%. The amount of the discount is, so a dress which costs $180 is being sold at a discount of 10%. So 10% of 180 is $18. So the amount of the discount is $18. They didn't ask you for the price, they asked you for the what is the discount. The value of a plot of land is $18,000. Land tax is charged at a rate of 70 cents per $100 value. What is the so how many $100 do we have in 18,000? We have 180 $100 values, and 180 multiplied by 0.70, and that will give us about $126. At the end of any year, a car is worth 5% less than what it was worth at the beginning of the year. If a car is worth $9,500 in December, then its value in 2016 January, in December 2016 was, alright, so if it's worth $9,500 now, then what this is 95, this is 95% of what it was worth before. Yeah, so so that means that 95%, this is 95% of what it was worth. So what was it worth will end up being this 9,500 multiplied by 100 over 95. So that'll give us about $10,000. A man bought a mobile phone for $800 and sold it for $1,000. What was his profit as a percentage of the cost price? Well, his profit was $200, and 200 is what percent? What percent of 800 equals 200? Well, we could see here that we'll just need to see 200 divided by 8, which is 25%. So he made a 25% profit. A man's annual salary is $45,000. His tax-free allowances total $1,300. All right. So he have $45,000, and actually $13,000 cannot be taxed. So 45 minus 13, it means that 32,000 can be taxed, right? He pays a tax of 35% on his taxable income, which is the 32. The tax payable is, so how many taxes he pay? Well, he pays 35% of 32,000. So that is 35. That's about $11,200 he pays in tax. The simple interest, well, I know that simple interest, and I'll just write it one time. Principal by rate by time over 100, right? So the simple interest on a loan of $6,000 for 3 years was $900. So on a loan, so the simple interest was $900. So $900 was the simple interest. This is the principal and this is the time. What was the rate? So principal by rate by time all over 100. So that means that I'll have, if the 100 goes across here, I'll have 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And that's equal to R, and then the 6,000 and the 3 will come across, so that'll be, well, first of all, 6 3s are 18, so 18,000. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 5%. A television set costs $350 cash. When bought on hire purchase, a deposit of $35 is required. Followed by 12 monthly payments of $30 each. How much is saved by paying cash? So it costs $350 cash, right? But when you buy it on hire purchase, it's $35 plus 12 monthly payments of $30 each. So that is 35 plus 360. That is 0, 6 and 5 is 11, 3 and 3 is 6. Oh no, sorry. 35 plus 360 will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 3. So $395. How much is saved by paying cash? So he will save $45. That is $350. $395 minus $350 is $45. How much does a customer pay for an article at $50 if a sales tax of 6% is charged? How much does a customer pay for an article marked $50 if a sales tax of 6% is charged? So 6% of 50 is $3. 6% of 50 is $3, so therefore he's actually paying $53. 7 times the product of two numbers, A and B, can be written as 7 AB. 7 times the product of two numbers. They didn't say the sum, they said product, so it wouldn't be anything with addition. If x is an integer that satisfies this inequality, then, right, so we could just divide everything by 2. So when we divide everything by 2, we'll get 2x3. The coefficient of x in the expansion of that is coefficient of x. So x plus 3 into x minus 1. So that's x squared plus 3x minus x minus 3. So we end up with x squared. 3x minus x is plus 2x minus 3. So we can see here the coefficient of x, not x squared, but x is 2, positive 2. 3x squared times, so we have here 3x squared multiplied by 2x cubed, and I could actually say 3 2s are 6, and then x to the 5th, so that is b. So number 27, when m is negative 2, the value of p is, so we just, all we really need to do is say p is equal to negative 2, and that is cubed, I believe, all over 2 minus, and m is negative 2. Notice the brackets. Wherever I'm making the substitution of negative 2 for m, I'm putting it in brackets. Alright? So be really careful with that. 2 2s are 4 2s are 8. This will actually be negative 8 on the top there because it's cubed. Right? And all over 2 plus 2, which is 4. So now we have the answer of negative 2a. An operations question here. A operation b is equal to a over b minus 1. Then 7 operation 28 will be 7 over 28 minus 1. 1/3 minus 1. No, wait. A quarter minus 1. 1 could be seen as 4 over 4, so that is minus 3 over 4. So now we have a. So we have to solve for x here. 5 into 2x minus 1 is equal to 35. So first thing we'll expand. So 5 2s are 10x minus 5 is equal to 35. 10x is equal, well, I'll 35 across there, so I'll get 40. X will be equal to 40 divided by 10, which is 4. John has X marbles and Max has twice as many marbles as John. So if John have X, then Max have 2X, right? Max gives John 5 of his marbles. So Max doesn't have, Max had 2x, but he gave John 5, and John got 5 from Max, right? How many marbles does John now have? John has x and he got 5 from Max, so it will be x plus 5. When 8 is subtracted from a certain number and the result is multiplied by 3, the answer is 21. So 8 is subtracted from a certain number. The result is multiplied by 3, and the answer is 21. Right? And oops, I wrote this wrong because they say 8 is subtracted from. So it'll be this, 8 subtracted from a certain number, right? So that means that 3x minus 24 is 21. 3x is equal to 21 plus 24. That gives us 45. So therefore x is 50. How many kilograms are there in 1 ton? It's quite a random question. There are actually 1,000 kilograms in a ton. The volume in centimeter cube of a cube of edge 3 centimeters is, so 3, I have my cube here, 3 and 3. 3 3s are 9, 3 is 27. A car travels at 80 kilometers in 2.5 hours. What is the speed in kilometers per hour? So if he travels 2.5 hours, then in 1 hour he would have been traveling 80 divided by 2.5. So in 1 hour he would have gotten, well, 80 divided by 2 is 40. So 80 divided by 2.5 will be a little less than 40, so around 32. Yes. So 32 kilometers per hour. And of course we know that speed is actually distance over time, which is what we ended up doing there. Calculate the speed, distance over time. Question 35 refers to the diagram. Okay. The length of one side of a square is 5 centimeters and the height of the triangle is 4 centimeters. What is the total area of the figure in centimeters squared? So we want the area of the figure. So the area of the square, which is 5 5s are 25 cm squared. And then, well, this here is, if this is 5, then this is going to be a half the base by the perpendicular height, which is 5 4s are 20, and a half of 20 is 10. So therefore this is 10, so the answer is 35. The area of a rectangle is 53.6. If the length is multiplied by 4, so the area is 53.6 of a rectangle. If the length is multiplied by 4 and the width is halved, the area would be what? So area is length times width, which is 53.6. If the length is multiplied by 4, and the width is half, that means that I'll have to multiply by 4 and half it at the same time. So this is a multiplication sign, so that means that this 2 could go into this 4 too. So that means that I'll have to double this in order to even off the equation. So that means it'll be 53.6 multiplied by 2, and the answer is 107.2. A man leaves home at 22:15 hours and reaches his destination at 400 hours. Well, on the following day in the same time zone, how many hours did the journey take? Well, 22:15 is actually 10:15 p.m. So that was 10 o'clock in the night. So from 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. But he left home at 10:15, so it would have been 5 3/4 hours. It's a long time to drive. The distance around the lake is 8 kilometers on a map. This distance around the lake is represented by a length of 2 centimeters. The scale of the map is what? Well, 2 centimeters represents 8 kilometers, right? So how many centimeters are in a kilometer? Well, first of all, we could say 1 centimeter represents 4 kilometers, right? And now we could say, well, 1 centimeter, a kilometer is 1,000 meters. So 4 kilometers is really 1,000 meters. That's 1,000 times 4, so that's 4,000 meters times I have 100 centimeters in a meter. Right, so 1 cm gives us 400,000 centimeters. So it's a ratio of 1 to 400,000. The perimeter of a square is 56. What is the area in centimeters? Well, if the perimeter is 56, and one side will be 56 divided by 4, which is 14. So that means that the area of the square will be 14 squared, which is 196. Item 40 refers to the following diagram not drawn to scale of a cylinder of radius 3 centimeters and a height here. The volume of the cylinder is, so I have to find the area of here and then multiply it by the height. So we can have the area is pi, and we can see here that they left the answer in terms of pi, so that means that I will not actually be using pi. But pi r squared is the area of that times 8 will give us the volume. So that means pi times 9 times 8 . So that is 72 pi, which is C. So now we're talking about some statistics here. What was the modal age? When you see mode, you want to think about most popular. So the modal age, which is the age that was most popular, definitely has to be age 7. Age 7 had the most amount of kids and was therefore most popular. How many children took part in the survey? So we'll see here that we have 3 kids here, we have 4 kids there, 2 kids here, 5 here, and 1 here. So 4 and 1 is 5, and 5 is 10, and 5 is 15. 15 kids in all. The following table shows the frequency of scores obtained by students in a test. So the scores, and these are how many students received those scores. The range of the scores is, well, we take the highest score, 10, minus the lowest score, 2, and the range is 8. The mean of 4 numbers is 10. The mean of 4 numbers is 10, and they gave us the 4 numbers is 4 plus 8 plus 2x plus 12 divided by 4. That will give us the average, right? The numbers divided by the amount of numbers there are, and they tell us that that is 10, right? So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 and 12 is 24 plus 2x all on 4 is equal to 10. So therefore 24 plus 2x is equal to 40. 2x is equal to 40 minus 24, which is 16. So therefore x will actually be equal to 8. Of 120 students writing an exam, 100 are expected to pass. Estimate the probability that a randomly selected student will fail. So the probability of somebody passing is actually 100 all over 120, which is 10 over 12, which is actually 5 out of 6. So there's a 5 out of 6 probability that somebody will pass, and so there'll actually be a 1 out of 6 probability that somebody will fail. Which of the following diagrams best illustrates a function? So remember, a function has one input for every output. For every output, you have one input. So you can see here that for this one input, we have two different outputs. One input, two different outputs. One input, two different outputs. So this is a function here. For each input, we have one output. 47 refers to the following graph of a straight line. The straight line AB cuts the y-axis at 0, -2 here. If h of x is a function, then the h of -6, that means that 3 -6 minus 2 all over 5. So that is 6 3s are 18. So that'll be -18 minus 2 all over 5. So that'll be -20 over 5, which is -4. So we have here a number line and the inequality that describes the number line. Well, x is between -2 and 3, but it does not include -2 or 3, so it's this one. Number 50 refers to the graph, and I do believe that we saw this question already. The values of x for which the quadratic intersects y is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 is the x-axis. So we could see x is 0 and x is 4. Item 51 refers to the following arrow diagram, which shows a function which of the following best describes the function? Right, x plus 3 will give me 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 3 is 14. So f of x is x plus 3. If each exterior angle of a regular polygon is 60 degrees, then the polygon is A. So if we remember from our geometry, the exterior angles are these guys here. And the exterior angles will add up to 360 degrees. So that means how many sides? 360 divided by 60. We'll have 6 sides here, so we'll end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and each one of these external angles will be 60 degrees, right? And of course they will all add up because the external angles of a polygon add up to 360, so it's a hexagon, a 6-sided figure. Item number 53 refers to the following diagram of a pair of intersecting lines. The measure of angle ABE. So ABE is this one. Well, this here is going to also be 58 degrees because opposite angles, right? And of course these are angles around a point, so the entire circle is going to be 360. So 58 by 2 is 116, and 360 minus 116 is 244 divided by 2 is 122. So that means that this here if the circle is 360 and these two are equal, then this is going to be 122 and 122 on this side there, so 122. #54 refers to the diagram of an isosceles triangle. In the triangle, what is the value of x? Well, we know in an isosceles this is going to be 30, 30 and 30 is 60. So the value of x will be 180 minus 60, which is 120 degrees. Refers to the following diagram of a straight line. Y is equal to x. What is the image of the line y is equal to x when it is rotated anti-clockwise about O through 90 degrees? Well, a 90 degree will give me this. So this is what the line is going to look like, and that is the line y is equal to -x. So the answer is D. We have some trigonometry here now. The length of MO in centimeters is, MO is this guy, and we are told that they're both similar. So if they are both similar, if this is 6, then this here is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So therefore 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Refers to the following right angle triangle ABC. In the triangle not drawn to scale, angle BAC is 30 degrees and that is 40. The length of BC in meters, so we want to know this. So at the end of the day, this will be the opposite of the angle, and this is the hypotenuse, so that's sine. So the sine of 30 degrees is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So therefore, the hypotenuse being 40. So 40 sine 30 will give us the opposite. So 40 sine 30 is 8. Item number 58 refers to the following right angle triangle. In the triangle ABC not drawn to scale, AB is 17, and we see that there. BC is x, the value of x in centimeters is. So we do have a right angle triangle here, and we want to know what is the value of x. So this is Pythagoras, where x squared plus 15 squared is equal to 17 squared. So therefore x is equal to 17 squared minus 15 squared and the square root of all of that. So we'll have to find where's 17 squared. So 17 squared could be seen as 10 plus 7 multiplied by 10 plus 7. So that is 170 plus 70 plus 7 7s are 49. So that is 7 and 7 is 14, 140. So that is, this is 240 plus 49 is 289. So we have here the square root of 289 minus, well, 15 squared could be 10 plus 5 multiplied by 10 plus 5. So that is 100 plus 50 plus 50 plus 25. So that is 225. So 289 minus 225 gives us 64. So x is equal to the square root of 64, which is 8. I was hoping it worked out to be an easy answer like that. So number 59, in a triangle, the angle P is x degrees and the angle Q is 2x degrees. What is the size of the angle R? Well, if we have a triangle here, PQR, PQR, they say that the angle P is x degrees, the angle Q is 2x degrees. So the angle R will be 180 minus x plus 2x. That is the angle R. So the angle R is 180 minus x plus 2x is 3x. And look, we have that here, D. And number 60, we have an elevations question. An estimate of the height of the building is obtained by calculating what angle. So we need to add, for the height of the building, we'll need to add this height here, which is 1.6 meters, plus this height here. So it's going to be 1.6 plus and some other height. So we could see here that we immediately canceled off A and B, right? And so it has to be C or D. 1 plus 6 plus, we want this height and we have this. This is the adjacent. So this adjacent, and we want the opposite. So toa. So we're talking about tan, right? So the tan of 40 is equal to the opposite, which is what we want to find over the adjacent. So 12 tan 40. So 1.6 plus 12 tan of 40 gives us D. Nice. So that was June 2017 paper 1. It wasn't such a hard paper. I hope you guys did well, and I'll see you all in the next class.